previously recorded. Alright, it is pumpkin carving time over here. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys carve pumpkins? Do you have tradition? I like to carve pumpkins and watch TV and have a little coffee or hot chocolate. What are you doing, Lucy girl? There's a handy trick I saw on some YouTube channel, multiple now, using a mason jar lid to scrape out the insides. Works wonderfully. It has a little lip on it. It does great. Just be careful you don't slip and cut yourself. Next, we rinse all of our lovely pumpkin seeds, put it in a big bowl, submerge it, get the bits to float. The seeds will float, the bits will sink for the most part. Go through and take off any remaining strings, rinse it, go through a couple times. Alright, I'm doing an experiment. I'm going to brine some of them, so I'm just putting some water in a bowl, and then I'll add some salt into that and let that brine for a couple hours. Next, I work on the scrapings. This is the bits that I scraped off from carving the pumpkin. When you carve a decoration into your pumpkin, you want to have one side that is nice and thin as possible without breaking it. So I just like to soak it in water for a little bit and then rinse it all off, looking for any of the skin and taking that out. And then throw it into a pot to simmer and cook, and add a little bit of water in there just so it doesn't scorch on the bottom, and then cover it and let it cook. Next is mixing up some more pumpkin pie spice. The recipe I like to use right now is 4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of ground cloves, and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Mix that all together, and then I added about 1.5 teaspoons or so of the spice mix all together, and then I would say 2 teaspoons of sugar. Mix that into the seeds with a couple tablespoons of melted butter, and then get that all mixed up onto a cookie sheet. And to get that into the oven, I had mine at about 350, and then I just let them roast for a little while, 10-15 minutes, check on them, and then go from there. Here are just the plain salted ones. You can see me flip them, giving them a little bit of a stir, and then back into the oven for a little bit longer. Here is the pumpkin puree. While the seeds are roasting, I went ahead and took care of that and just put it aside for now, and it's quite watery, but that's okay, I'll take care of that later, and then it will go into the fridge. And this container is some of the brined pumpkin seeds. I'm going to keep that in there overnight and then see if there was any difference between just a couple hours and overnight. And here are the plain salted seeds all roasted up and looking beautiful. Here are the spice and sugar mixed ones, and then when they were done, I went ahead and threw on some extra sugar, tossed those, and then they're all ready to go. I did 3 different batches. One is regular salted, one is salt brined, and the other one is the pumpkin spice and sugar mixture.
Hey everybody, welcome. Today we are going to do some projects and then cook a yummy dinner. So it is Halloween, I am home from work. Put up some last minute decorations. I'll show you here. Found my favorite candy bowl and we're all ready for trick-or-treating. And so I'm going to do a couple projects. One is to pressure cook the pumpkin that we had extra from carving, and then cook up dinner for tonight, which we're gonna do, I think, something with ground beef, sweet potato, that sort of thing. So join me and we'll see what we get done today. Those are mine.
All right, now that we got that all taken care of, let's go ahead and get this pumpkin started. So basically just put something at the bottom of it so it's out of the water, throw some chunks in there, however many fit is fine. If they're pointing down, it's even better because then the water can drain off of it. Either way, it doesn't really matter. We'll squish the water out later. You do need to put some water in there for your Instant Pot to work, so half a cup or so. Go ahead and turn it on, and then I did it for 20 minutes the first time and then 15 minutes the second time. And now we are going to prep for dinner.
You know what? I haven't seen that in new refrigerators though. I think it might be the same place. Yeah.
So I peeled and then chopped the sweet potatoes.
Here's what we're gonna do. Leave practice spoon. Please. Please, Artis. Please leave practice spoon. Please stop. Alright, move this out of the way, and I'm gonna switch.
And then chopped the onions.
Yeah, it's like where the onions. So it's just very good now.
Then I cooked up the ground beef. And got the onions sauteing. Nice brown color to them. I threw the sweet potatoes into the microwave and cooked them for a little bit so they'd soften up a bit. And then I added seasoning to the beef, salt, pepper, garlic, onion, sage, a spice blend, a little bit of chili pepper, and then added the sweet potatoes, the onions, and croutons. And then I added probably about 2 cups of broth or so to that. Mix that together, throw some foil over it, and then throw it in the oven for a little while. And then towards the end, I did take it off so that way the liquid could cook off. And next we are going to take care of the pumpkin. It's ready. So So I just went ahead and took it out of the Instant Pot, let it start draining and cooling off. And then went ahead and loaded it back up for the next batch and got that going. And checked on dinner, stirred it up. Looking good, smells amazing. And then back to the pumpkin. It was cooled off just enough to be able to handle it, so I went ahead and scraped the meat off of the peel, looking for any bits that might have gotten through. Quality control, and then start letting that drain. And checked on dinner one more time. It looked delicious. It was ready to go. The sourdough bread I used for the croutons was homemade, and it held up amazingly well, so I'm definitely excited about making stuffing for Thanksgiving this year. Taste test, it tasted so good.
All right, there you have it, a beautiful dinner, and we're all ready for trick-or-treating now. Just gotta finish getting ready here. All right, I hope you guys have a fun Halloween. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.